Everybody, this is Mike Nelson, the Mike Nelson Show. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe right now. Today I got a pretty cool guest. I got Danny from the band Wicked. How you doing today, Danny?
What's going on? Good to be here.
Hey, good to be here. So, Danny, tell me about your musical journey. When did you kind of start listening to music? What got you into music? Why'd you become a musician?
It's that's funny you asked that. I think it all started when I was a lot younger, playing hockey, and you'd always like I was a goalie in hockey, and that was my life back then. And you'd always hit the ice, and the best music,
Hear the
was the
music,
hard
right?
rock metal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you always
You
hear
know
it.
what I
Yeah,
mean? And that
yeah.
that kept you fueled. So um soon after that, I just had that lust after, hearing AC/DC, Metallica, all that stuff. And I told my brother, my younger brother, Chad Michael, I was like, you know, there's just not enough new versions of this, full package, hard rock anymore. So let's just make our own. And that's what we set out to do, man. We want the look, we want the quality music, the energy, and so that's kind of like our thing that we strive for, and our goal in it all. So
So, was bass your first instrument?
no, I mean that it's like you start off as a guitar player, everybody wants to be a guitar player.
And you
So it's
can't play,
like,
right?
yeah, it's like you know what? Taught my brother how to play. He became the rhythm guitar player, and we found this, Scotty V, our current lead guitar player, who was just ripping, and it was like, dude, like the guy's got to take the lead spot. Like I'm gonna jump on bass, and that lets me jump around and run all over the stage. So I'm having a great time.
So I did you mentioned a little bit about the Wicked project, how you kind of want to do like a hard rock thing. When was this around? When did this like idea come to you, or what's the time frame here of the project?
God,
People
it
out
had to
there
be
to kind of
like
know
it
about it.
had to be like 10 years ago. We were just getting out of school, and like we're just kids. And so, we spent a lot of years just going out there once the band got together and learning how to be, musicians and rock stars, before we, in the last few years said, you know what, let's put some albums together, and let's get them out, and really run this like a business. So, there's been a bit of a shift in some of those paradigms of thinking, but you learn a lot when you go out there and you pay your dues. So I'm glad we did it.
You talk about like running the band like a business. How is that like? Is it still pretty fun for you though? The project.
It is fun, man. I mean, we got day gigs, and my brother and I are engineers and stuff, so it's cool to take some of those skills and apply them to the band. But it's so much fun when you're working at something that you're truly passionate about. So even if you're running your accounting, or working on logistics, it's exciting. Even for this tour, people probably don't realize how much work goes into setting something like this up, or even just putting out an album. And it's grueling, but it is rewarding, all in the same. So
Now, where's the band kind of based right now?
we're out of Rochester, New York right now. So when we started putting the band together, my brother and I, we found Scotty V wasn't too far away in upstate New York. We found him on like this like MySpace type of site. Like that guy's got cool hair. Who cares if he can play? Let's let him audition. And then Gunnar was really the last puzzle piece as our drummer, because we had some guy in the band, JP, early on, and great dude, but um, maybe not somebody who's going to make the long haul. And Gunnar was like a local savant. You know what I mean? He was always that like young kid in the area that you knew of, and you kind of like talk crap about, because you're like, he's so good. He wins competitions and stuff. And when we do interviews, he's always saying, he's like, these guys talk shit about me all the time. But truthfully, it was just because he was so good. And when he joined, it just took the band's level up, so many notches. So we kind of all centrically just moved in, into a house, and have been living together for like 7 years, like an old school band in Rochester, New York, and then just deploying out of there to bring our music to our fans.
So talk to you about the new album of Sunburn.
Ah, dude. We so the pandemic hits, right? Like everybody's got this story now. And it's like we're glass half full kind of guys. So we're like, well, we don't want this to define us or put us back. You know, we want to keep doing this thing that we love. So we went into the studio and we cut The Last American Rock Band. But while we were in there, you know, we were fortunate to be beginning to work with this 10-time Grammy award-winning producer from Panama who had moved up and become friends with us, Nacho Molino. And he's like, let's just keep writing. So we went back into pre-production, and that's when Sunburn came about. And the album was awesome because it was like, you know, it's kind of a reflection on those years of being young and, you know, paying your dues and learning, like, you know, from the ups and downs, you know, bad mistakes, good breaks. It kind of like talks about all that, but it was like an e-break on our like projection of what we were doing with music because we finally just said, you know what, we're doing this, DIY. We're in control of our destiny, and we're gonna pull in whatever influences we want, and basically make music that makes us happy, and really kind of like meter out some of the critics or critiques of what we should be doing. And that was very refreshing. And Sunburn's kind of like that first phase of that is, pulling in stuff that's hard rock, maybe some progressive stuff, maybe some power pop stuff, and not being afraid to blend it all up and make something good out of it.
So the bands, like I've seen, you guys are very active on social media, and also you guys have some music videos. Can you talk to me about how the importance of doing all that stuff in 2024?
I mean, as everybody knows, it's like people have such a short attention span. So our motto is like, we want to just, keep pumping out content for people to sink their teeth in. We're always together as a band, and we want to keep bringing people in closer and closer to the excitement and the fun that is Wicked. So, with the album, yeah, we put it out. It comes out digitally, but we're putting out physical vinyl, right? Stuff that people could sit down like back in the day and like actually enjoy and dig into. And we're doing music videos. We cut maybe four for the four singles that came out before the album dropped, and that was a whole experience in itself. And that's what I like about how we approach music videos is we try to make it add something to our life too, like a life experience. So with this album, we drove from Rochester, New York to Huntington Beach straight 38 hours and just went out and we visited, Joshua Tree. We went to the desert, we went to LA, we went to the mountains, and we learned like different things that we could put into the video. And we're gonna continue to do that, like maybe, hey, we want to get our motorcycle license, in the next year or so, and then maybe we'll throw some of that in a music video. But that's kind of the fun we get to have with it. And again, it brings people in, and lets them have more to sink their teeth in.
So you guys got, of course, a tour coming up with Raven. They've been on the show here before. Talk to me about Raven and what you're looking forward to.
Those guys are lunatics, man. Great guys and just incredible showmanship. We've done a couple of dates with them. Even last year, I think we had a Rochester and a Boston date. And not only is it awesome hanging out with them and talking, and they're just, sweet guys, but they're just so much fun to be around. And so I'm looking forward to it. If we don't walk away from this tour without a bunch of stories about us pranking each other and all that stuff, we did something wrong. But it's even cooler because our drummer Gunner, his father roadied for Raven back in the
Wow.
day. So
Yeah.
there's like pictures of Gunner as like a baby, like John Gallagher's
Wow.
visiting Roy's house. And so it's gonna be cool. It's kind of like a, almost a family reunion, and it's gonna be exciting to be on the road with those dudes.
Now the band is. Have you guys ever done a tour like this before? This type of
This
tour, like touring with an act like Raven.
this is going to be a first for us in terms of, we've been around, we've played Rocklahoma and different, one-off festivals and obviously shows everywhere, but this is going to be our first really like national like tour that we're like being road dogs. Every day is a different state. So we're hopping in an RV, bringing our gear and just going, you know what I mean? We got a couple of drivers and it's going to be like, we're beating the streets for rock and roll, man.
Now, after this tour, what's the band planning to do?
So just like I said before, we want to just we're always together and we're always writing and just building this dream and this project that we work so hard for. So we already have another album cut. We're going to finish that up, start cutting those videos, start working on new, content and imagery and stuff like that. And we want to get right back at it, get back out on the road, hit some new markets, even maybe some college markets, stuff like that, where we could start getting the youth back into hard rock, you know what I mean, and metal. So
Now the band's gonna be playing here in LA at a pretty cool venue. Talk to me a little bit more about that. And also, have you guys ever played in LA before?
we haven't. This is another first,
Okay,
and what better way of doing it than at the Quintessential Whiskey? I mean,
the best
it's
venue.
gonna be killer.
Yeah.
So we're bringing the film crew out. We're gonna capture that night, that moment. And we're super excited. A lot of our Cali friends from the LA area and surrounding are gonna get to come out and see us live, like in person. People get to see the videos and this and that, but we always use the tagline high energy rock and roll, and that's exactly what you get. We're about bringing people together, a community, no matter what background you're from or what's going on in your life. This is a moment of escape and time to just enjoy yourselves with your community, around some high energy rock and roll.
And also with the band, you guys are going to be if for the fans out there. What's the best way for fans to kind of keep up to date with what's going on with the band? Like you guys are mainly active. What social media platform are you guys mainly active on right now?
We're on all the platforms, whether it be X, Instagram, Facebook. It's all Wicked Rock and Roll. And then if you want to hit our website, that'll take you anywhere. That's wickedrockandrollofficial.com. And like I said, we always got new stuff on there. We're working on some a thing called the Rock and Roll Circus Show. It's kind of like a reality show on YouTube. And that brings people behind the veil and they get to see what happens with the four of us living together day in, day out, man.
All right. Well, it was great talking to you, Danny. It was pretty fun here, and yeah, make sure to head out to go see Wicked this spring.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching, everybody.